Here are 5 ways to make content that drives more sales. Number 1, being different is better than being better. I see so many experts out there who have these viral frameworks or these scripts or outlines that you can follow. The problem is, if you follow someone else's outline, you're going to sound like somebody else. So the perfect example, Russell Brunson wrote Expert Secrets, and it was kind of his outline for writing webinars. And they're all around the 3 secrets. And it was a fantastic outline. I used it for myself. It was super helpful. The problem is, so many people used it that if you came out and you told your audience, hey, I'm doing a presentation, I'm gonna teach you these 3 secrets, people just instantly gloss over because they've already seen it before. And they go, you're not teaching me 3 secrets. This is a sales presentation. So at that time, there was somebody that I looked up to in the digital marketing space, and they said, even if your outline is not as good as Russell's, if you just make up your own, just go completely off script, design your own outline, the fact that it's different, it's gonna be better because people haven't seen it before. It's gonna be fresh, it's gonna grab their attention. And I think the same thing is true for content as well. Maybe somebody else has an amazing outline that you could follow. Just do your own thing though. Your own outline, your own message, your own personality, say things your own way, and that'll put you leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. In fact, there won't be any competition because you're gonna be one of one. So that's the first thing. Being different is better than being better. Number 2 is find your voice. So I think so many people, they go through these like fits and starts. They'll film a bunch of content and then they, edit it and they post it, and then it'll be a little while, and then they'll do another big burst, but they never do it enough to get in the rhythm of getting the reps underneath their belt where they get comfortable on camera. So they're always a little bit awkward. So in my opinion, you owe it to yourself to set aside time, maybe once a week, at least for the first few weeks, to get some momentum under your belt, to get those reps, to find your voice, and the content is going to be so much better because of it. You're going to be comfortable on camera, your real personality is going to come through, and it's going to be visible on the other end of that screen. It's kind of like when I was in middle school, I started snowboarding when I was in 6th grade. And for the first 2 or 3 years, I only went up once or twice a year with a couple of buddies. And I never did it enough to get good. So I was always falling down, it was terrible. Finally, one year I bought a season pass, and that year I went up 20 times. And finally, at the 5th or 6th time, something clicked, and all of a sudden, I could snowboard, and I wasn't falling down anymore. And then after that, it was worth it. That's a weird analogy, but it's kind of the same thing with content. If you know you need to make content, you owe it to yourself to put those reps in, to find that voice, and your content's gonna be so much better because of it. Now, the third thing is follow the data. So on Instagram, under any one of your posts, there's a button that says View Insights. If you click on that, it'll give you a pie chart that shows you how many non-followers versus followers interacted with a piece of content. So for all of our clients, we compile all of those numbers in a spreadsheet, and then when we do our filming sessions, we'll sort that by the top 5, and we'll go, okay, why do we think that these posts did so well? And then we'll dig down into those topics a little bit deeper. Or maybe we'll say the same thing but in a different way, or iterate on it. I love doing this so that when you sit down in front of the camera, you're not like, okay, what am I gonna talk about now? Look at the data. Let the data tell you, okay, scientifically, mathematically, this is what my audience is resonating with. And of course, we're always testing new things as well. But if we're gonna be publishing all of this content and the platforms are gonna be giving us all of this data, we would be crazy not to make the most of it and use that to inform the content that we're creating. The fourth thing that you can do to create content that drives more sales is to create what I call content chains. So rather than posting individual pieces of content, create pieces that tie naturally together. So what I've been doing more and more with clients is doing a part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the end of each video, say, hey, make sure you tune into tomorrow's video or go back and watch yesterday's video. And even on the thumbnail, saying part 1 of 5 or part 2 of 5. And then obviously the idea is that we provide so much value to the viewer that they go, hey, I gotta go find yesterday's post. They click through to your profile, they watch it, and now while they're there, they'll watch another one, and another one, and another one. Or another way that we chain videos together is I'll film a YouTube video like this one where I teach 5 things. And then each one of those things will either get edited out into its own reel or I'll film one from scratch. And if I film it from scratch, I'll teach one thing and then at the end I'll say, I actually have a full-length video where I teach 5 things like this. It's linked to my bio, go check it out. The reason why I do this is because I heard this guy named Dan Bolton, he's a super smart marketer. He talked about the time it takes to heat up a prospect. So he said most people think about that time as days or weeks or months, but it's not. It's just raw aggregate face time. So somebody might need to look at your face and consume your content for 5 hours before they buy from you. So if you post one reel every day that's 60 seconds long, it'll take you 300 days to hit that aggregate 5-hour mark. But if I post one reel and then I say, go watch yesterday's reel, you go back and you watch that, and then you watch 5 more, and then one of those says, hey, go to my YouTube channel to watch my YouTube video, and you watch that, maybe you watch 3 more YouTube videos, I can hit that 5-hour mark today. We could go from you seeing one of my ads to watching 5 hours within a 24-hour time span, and tomorrow you're ready to buy from me. So I don't want to leave that up to chance. I want to create what I consider a content web, where you enter anywhere in that web and it naturally sucks you in. It gets you to binge more of my content, and if you're the right fit, you're going to find that out really quick. So that's how I create content chains for myself and for my clients. Try that for yourself. That leads to number 5, which is you have to make creating content the easiest thing that you do. So I know so many people who they set aside time to create content, let's say 2 hours. But they spend the first hour of that just getting the camera set up right. But there's glare, and I don't like the background, and I forgot to charge my mic, and oh, my power bank is out of power. And by the time you actually get into flow, you're already flustered, you're already low energy, and the content's terrible. And you ran out of time. So what I do is I always have a camera set up right there. And when I have an idea, I can turn it on, I talk into it, I hand off that file to my team, they do all the editing, they publish it for me. So creating content is the easiest thing that I ever do. And the same thing is true for my clients too. We do a 1-hour filming session once a month. They just crack open their laptop, I ask them questions, they show up and talk, everything else gets done for them. The way I think about it is you have to divide content creation into in front of the camera and behind the camera. And you're the only one who can do in front of the camera things, which is share your message and your knowledge and your personality and say your words coming out of your mouth through your face. You have to do that. But everything behind the camera, that can be done by somebody else, therefore it has to be done by somebody else. So you need to focus on just the messaging and the ideas and the charisma and the inspiration, all that personal stuff. If you can make content creation easy by leaving a camera set up, by having a team in place, by having SOPs, by having everything organized, then you get to focus on all those important things I just mentioned. And we're not burning you out and getting you frustrated and low energy when things aren't working correctly. So that's number 5. You have to make creating content the easiest thing that you do. So that's it. Those are my 5 tips on creating content that drives more sales. If that was helpful for you, I would love it if you would leave me a like, hit that thumbs up button. If you like more content like this, hit subscribe. I'm going to be creating more content like this all the time. I'd love to see you on the next video.